Welcome to RichTrybe. Today, we're not just going to talk about little tips to save a few dollars here and there. Nope. We are going to build a complete roadmap to financial mastery. We've basically boiled down the wisdom from some of the greatest money books ever written into a really powerful four-stage way of thinking about how you build wealth.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a quote that, honestly, it goes against almost everything you've probably ever heard. Forget diversifying, at least when you're starting out. The real path to getting rich is through intense, almost obsessive focus. I mean, think about it. Jeff Bezos didn't just sell books, he obsessed over them. Bill Gates didn't just make software, he lived and breathed it. They mastered one thing, and only then, after they mastered it, did they expand. This whole idea of watching the basket really sets the stage for everything we're about to get into.
So here's the game plan. We're going to walk through this clear four-stage roadmap together. We'll start with the most important part, the internal work, getting your mindset right. Then we'll move into building your financial engine, supercharging it with some smart strategies, and finally, designing the life you actually want to live.
First things first. Look, before any strategy, any investment, or any business plan can ever work, we have to fundamentally change the way we think about the dollars in our pocket. This is the foundation for everything. And that leads us to this really powerful concept, life energy. I want you to stop thinking about money as just paper or, numbers on a screen. Every single dollar you have is a stored unit of your time, your energy, your actual life. Yeah, just let that sink in for a second. You aren't just selling your skills for a wage. You are literally selling hours of your one and only life. When you frame it that way, every single financial decision you make starts to look completely different, doesn't it?
So here's the challenge. The next time you're about to buy something, do the math. If you make, say, $25 an hour, that $100 gadget isn't just $100. It's 4 hours of your life that you will never, ever get back. So you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it? This one simple question will change your spending habits forever. And this right here gets at the biggest myth about wealth. It's not the flashy car, it's not the new iPhone. That's just a display of spending. Real wealth, true wealth, is what you don't see. It's the assets, the investments, the financial security that's working for you behind the scenes. See, the goal isn't just to make $1 million, it's to keep it and, more importantly, grow it.
All right, so with our mindset totally reset, let's get into the action phase. It is time to actually construct the machine that's going to generate wealth for you, day in and day out. This is it. If you remember nothing else, remember this. This is the single most important financial lesson there is. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. The entire game of building wealth is just this. Acquire more assets and get rid of your liabilities. It's that simple, but you'd be amazed how many people get it completely backwards. Now, when you hear the word assets, you might just think of stocks or maybe real estate. But look at this list. A YouTube video that you make one time can put money in your pocket every single month, just like a rental property, an app, a book. These are real assets you can build right now. And this is such a crucial point. Look, cutting your costs is fine, but it's a defensive game. The real path to wealth, the exciting path, is playing offense. So instead of always asking what you need to cut out, start asking a much more powerful question. How can I expand my means to afford the life I actually want? It shifts your entire focus from scarcity to creation. Okay, the engine is built. Now it's time to hit the accelerator. This stage is all about making your money work harder for you than you could ever work for it. This is where we pour gasoline on the fire. So let's look at a quick story. We've got 3 investors here. We have Billy, who starts super young, invests just $15,000 total, and then he stops. Then there's Susan, who invests a bit more for a bit longer. And finally, we have Kim, who is by far the most dedicated. She invests over $100,000 for almost 4 decades. So, who wins the race? I mean, logic would say Kim, right? She invested the most money for the longest continuous period. That's got to be the winner. But let's see what the numbers actually say. And the winner is Billy by a long shot. It's not even close. How is that possible? He invested the least amount of money but ended up with the most. This is the almost unbelievable power of compound interest. It's not just growth, it's an explosion. Your money starts making money, and then that money's money starts making more money. The most valuable thing in investing isn't your money, it's your time. Now, To truly break free from trading time for money, you need leverage. This is how you completely disconnect your income from the hours you work. You can use other people's labor, you can use capital from investors, or, and this is the big one today, you can use code and media. Think about it. You create an online course one time, and it can teach and earn you money from thousands of students, all while you're sleeping. That's leverage. And just a quick but really important warning, the details matter. A lot. As you can see here, a seemingly tiny 1% difference in investment fees can literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. You have to pay attention to the small print.
Okay, let's dive into our final section. But before we do, if you're finding this roadmap valuable, now would be a great time to subscribe to the RichTrybe channel, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to see it. All right, this brings us to the final and maybe the most important stage. This is the whole point of the journey, right? It's not just to pile up money, but to actually use it to design a life of freedom, purpose, and joy. So how do we do it? Simple, with a conscious spending plan. You automate your finances. A chunk goes to your needs, a chunk goes to your investments, and another to savings. And that last piece, that 20%, that's your guilt-free spending money. Go nuts. Spend it extravagantly on the things you absolutely love, because you know you've already taken care of all your responsibilities.
I love this metaphor. It's so powerful. See, a lump sum of cash is like a tank of water. Eventually, it's going to run out. The real goal is to develop the skills to create income streams, to become the person who knows how to build a well, so you'll never be thirsty again. And this quote from Jim Rohn just proves the point perfectly. The money itself is just a byproduct. The real asset, the thing that no one can ever take away from you, is the knowledge and the skill set you pick up along the way. That is the true 90% of your wealth.
And we'll end with this thought. You know, most of us have this backwards. We think we have to wait until we're rich to start living the life we want. But the truth is, you start building that rich life, a life of learning, of creating assets, of conscious spending. And that is the very thing that makes you rich. So my question to you is, what are you building starting today?